always causing trouble. And that's kind of fun.
Again, I mean, that's good. I hope that's answered Tuesday's questions. But also, there's another one come in, and again, this probably is more contemporary for all of us. It says, "Is it really true?" This is again from it's from Alice Palmer. Is it really true Shakespeare wrote some of his plays whilst in quarantine? Is that right, Kate?
Do you know, that's what people have been sending a message around, haven't they, saying that Shakespeare wrote King Lear during the plague. And yes, for sure, during Shakespeare's life, theatres were regularly closed down during plague. And what happened quite often was that if there was plague in Britain, the actors went on tour and they went over to Europe, where at that time actually there was less plague, and they went touring in Italy and France. And that's why Shakespeare has so much knowledge of other countries and can write about countries like Verona, like Italy rather, and cities like Verona, because he actually went on tour around Europe and he saw those places.
And again, that understanding of those other cultures and the issues they had through quarantine as well, maybe as well. He looked at, I mean, it's lasting. For me, Shakespeare's always been, it's contemporary, isn't it? For me, Shakespeare, even though it's been written like, 500 years ago, it's still contemporary. I can still see it and go, no, I believe this. I believe this. This is today. That's love. That's human. That's everything else. So, I mean, is that why he's enduring, do you think?
I think so. I think because he writes about people and people's feelings. And we all know about that. And you're right, that's much bigger than a specific time or place. Quite often when he writes about foreign countries as well, he puts all kinds of layers in that actually are very typical of his experience in England. Or when he's writing about a certain time, he'll add all kinds of layers from the past. He'll draw on tons and tons of different sources, and he'll pull everything together in a kind of melting pot. And then he'll make it about the characters. And that's, I think, why we care.
Well, too. I mean, it's incredible to me, and it is like, please let me carry on. It's coming in. People are getting very, very, they're loving it now. So I'll let you carry on. I'll keep
Okay.
keep on top of this for you. Keep on top of this.
Great. Where were we, Chip? We were the prince. The prince had threatened death to anyone who disturbs the city streets. Remember that. It's going to come back in the story. And for now, everybody goes home very sheepish, in big trouble, and having to warn each other to be very, very careful. And Benvolio is left alone on the street. We're going to change the scene slightly because, as Romeo says in this story, this is a story that's much about hate, but more about love. And we all know that, right? We all know that Romeo and Juliet's a love story. However, at the start of the story, if you don't know the story, maybe you know this, maybe you don't, Romeo and Juliet don't know each other. They haven't met. Romeo is a Montague. Romeo is friends with Benvolio. He too is a pretty peaceful guy. He's not in the fighting. He's not interested in fighting. He's actually not that interested in getting involved in any of this stuff because he is passionately in love. Yeah, at the beginning of the story, Romeo is in love with a girl called Rosaline. And at the beginning of the story, in the Capulet household, there's talk of love also, because Juliet is of an age where her father thinks she's old enough to marry. And he is hosting a grand ball, a reception, a party, to introduce her to the young man he would like her to marry. Now, this young man is extremely well connected. He's a cousin of the prince. His name is Paris, and he's a count. And so for Lord Capulet, he would be the perfect husband for Juliet. And so a ball is being prepared. A great feast, a party with musicians and food and dancing and beautiful gardens outside in Verona in the summer sunshine, and then the lovely golden evening. And I'm sure you can imagine who's not invited. Anyone who's a Montague, I'm sorry, but you are not going out. Even if we could go out, you would not be invited to the Capulet's party. However, Romeo has friends. Romeo has a really good friend whose name is Mercutio. And Mercutio is not from either Montague or Capulet. He's also a cousin of the prince. And so he gets invited everywhere. And this party, the Capulet party, just happens to be a masked ball. And because everyone gets to wear a mask, Mercutio can take Romeo as his +1. So Romeo is getting ready to go to the party where he is going to meet the gorgeous Rosaline, Juliet is getting ready to go to the party where she is preparing to meet the handsome Paris. I'm going to pause there for a moment. Tip, I don't know if any questions are coming in.
Oh, no, thick and fast they are indeed, Kate. Just got a couple for you here. Sue's asking, oh, no, sorry, I've got one from Alice. Is there somewhere online that I can watch Romeo and Juliet?
Wow, I hope that the answer is correct. I would point you towards 2 versions of Romeo and Juliet. Now, I don't know if they're online. We should check this, by the way, so that I can answer this honestly on Wednesday. But I would go watch the Baz Luhrmann version with Claire Danes and Leonardo DiCaprio. It is wonderful. And go and watch the Franco Zeffirelli version. If you like your Shakespeare in beautiful classical dress with the most gorgeous lighting and the most beautiful scenes, that is an absolutely lush, gorgeous classic. And I recommend that one as well.
I mean, that's good news. And I have seen so many ones online. Some of them you do have to pay for, but there's a lot you can get for free. On that as well, there's Frankie. She says she's obviously being educated by what she's seeing today. And she says she never knew that Mercutio wasn't part of either family. And she said that's very interesting. And she was asking, is there anywhere she can get the script or get to read the script online for free?
Okay, that is a good question as well. There are for sure lots and lots of versions of the script available online. There's something I think called the Shakespeare Folio Library, which if you just type in Romeo and Juliet, you will get the full script online. If you wanted to order a copy, the Shakespeare Schools version is really great because it's full of questions as well as the script, and it's full of great photographs and quotes from other sources and stuff like that. So that's a nice one as well.
That's good news, actually. So I hope that's helped you out there, Frankie. But again, they're coming in. Please carry on, Kate.
I have a quick question, though, which is kind of curtain down question. How are we doing for time? I have not been timing myself. So I need part of this rehearsal for me is to get a sense of when do we stop.
I don't know, but I've just got a message that, Richard, you're going to have to cut away at 11:20, aren't you?
Yes. So just we can... if somebody wants to just say in the chat how long we'll be looking for to run the events. I mean, on the actual day, I can certainly send you timing updates, Kate. To be honest, I can say, we've been going for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, etc. So if you just keep your eye on the chat every now and again. And I'll just I'm just going to unmute Alice Driver now. One moment. Okay, Alice, and you're unmuted. Alice.
Hi, just to say, so we think you've been running for about 20 to 25 minutes, including.
Right, so it's wrap-up time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think just from my point of view, I think it was absolutely great, going very nicely.
Great, thank you. That's good to hear. Thanks, Richard. Okay, so thank you for those questions. We've got to the point where Romeo's going to the party with Rosaline. And of course, we all know this story is not called Romeo and Rosaline any more than it's called Juliet and Paris. There's an awful lot more that's going to happen. But we have to stop there. And before we stop, I have a favor to ask anybody who is listening, which is if you have time, this is a story that's full of poetry. It's full of verse. Those of you who've read it will know. Those of you who go to take a look will see. It's full of poetry. If you have time to write a tiny love poem from Romeo to Rosaline and send it to us, we would love that. And for now, thank you so much for suspending your disbelief, for taking part in theatre across the airwaves from all over the place. It's been great making theatre with you. Thank you.
Kate, thank you very, very much for that. That was incredible. That was a really great, and for our first session, I have to say, thank you so much for that. So moving forward from that, though, everyone, you got a taste of it. You've seen what it's like. You've seen what we're doing, and you've seen what the way forward is. So next event then, Tuesdays and Thursdays, Tuesday and Thursdays, 1100 hours, we'll be doing workshops. Please get on. What I'd like you to do now is make sure you like this on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and share it. Get it around all our community, wider community. Get around people. We all know we're in lockdown. Let's just, talk to each other and let's enjoy it. Let's be creative and let's look what the arts can give us. and make our lives better. And that's it. So from all of us today, Kate, all the gang at Bravo 22 and the Drive Project, thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
Yay!
Thank you, Alex.
Fantastic, both of you.
Well done.
Thank you, Tip. That was really great.
Yeah,
Lovely.
the interaction between the two of you is going to be fabulous as we keep going. Yeah, it's very natural, and we felt connected, so that was brilliant.
It was so great.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent.
So
Excellent.
good. Well done, guys.
Well done. Yes.
Yeah, so obviously, yeah, unfortunately, I've got to jump off shortly, guys. As I don't know if you saw in the chat there, I was actually managed to get the stream going on our work test account, and all look great. All look great. So
Brilliant.
so yeah, that's a good big tick for me. Just a quick, just while it's on the top of my head, just at the end there, if let's wait until you're in the chat box when I say we're clear in the room, because I'll need to stop the stream on YouTube.